Buckle up and hold on to your time machine because Back to the Future, the musical, is playing right now at the Paramount Theater. This electrifying stage adaptation of the 1980s movie classic takes audiences on a thrilling journey through time with your favorite characters and a brand new musical score. And joining me now is the star of the show, who also happens to be from the Seattle area. Please welcome to New Day, Kaden Broush. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
This is so awesome. I love that you grew up in the area, so you probably went to some of these productions at the Paramount back in the day.
Absolutely, yeah.
What is it like now starring in this role?
It's so crazy. I mean, just like walking backstage and kind of like thinking about the shows that I saw and seeing like, oh, this must be where this person's dressing room was, you know, when I saw Dear Evan Hansen or Wicked or whatever, you know, like very, very cool. And seeing my face up on the marquee was crazy. So yeah, it's such a wonderful time to be able to bring this show to my hometown.
Absolutely. And last night was the big opening night. So did you have friends and family in the audience that maybe you couldn't fully see, but how was that feeling?
Yeah, I mean, it was great. My parents were there, which was great. And then actually I walked out and saw that there were like 8 other people that I didn't know were going to be there, that they were there, and that was really, really special, really exciting.
That's got to be a moment.
It meant so much. Some people I grew up doing theater with, you know, when I was a kid, and yeah, it was really, really meant a lot.
Oh my gosh, that's so amazing. And how did you get your acting start?
I was hyper and not good at sports as a kid.
Stop.
I mean, that was, you know, What really happened was I was in Oliver at the Fifth Avenue Theater because they needed like 50 kids. And so I just did like an all-call for that. I sang like in a mall or something and, you know, eventually got that. And then the next year it was A Christmas Story at the Fifth Avenue. And I luckily got that again. And that kind of led to me doing some stuff with Village Theater out in Issaquah and just kind of hopping back and forth. But, you know, into high school, I kept doing professional theater, and that was kind of a moment where I was like, you know, oh, maybe I could really do this. Maybe I'm not just like a cute kid anymore. Maybe like there's something there and people see that and I could do this. And so, yeah, I just followed that and followed it to New York and did the audition grind and
here you are. I mean, to have
cool.
a starring role that, you know, was played in the movie by Michael J. Fox, how does it feel to land a role like this so early in your career, I feel like, too? I mean, I know you just walked us through your career, but still.
No, yeah. I mean, it's an incredible honor, and it was, you know, I was so excited, and then I was very scared immediately after getting the call. But it's so such an honor to take on this role and, you know, to have this be such, like so early in my career and, you know, fingers crossed it's just the start of something. Yeah.
I'm sure. And did you watch the movie at all before you did this role?
Absolutely.
Was it a fave?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Growing up, I don't even remember the first time I saw it. It was just kind of in the zeitgeist. But yeah, definitely watched and kind of prepared for it, and, you know, trying to do some of the movie and Michael J. Fox's iconic performance, but also some moments kind of put their own spin on it.
Yeah, how does it translate on stage, like from the movie?
Yeah, I mean, Bob Gale, who wrote the movie, wrote this show and was really, you know, he was like in rehearsals with us, and he comes and sees the show and comes and supports, which is really sweet. But yeah, it's got, you know, all the moments you know and love from the movie. Plus all these fun songs, Power of Love, there we go. And, you know, you get to see those that are just kind of playing in the background now performed live on stage, which is a pretty exciting part of the show.
Yeah, and I can imagine maybe some added pressure with all this big, like these big fans. You know, I know some coworkers at work are like, oh my gosh, like,
of course.
So how do you deal with that added pressure?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's
you're like, I just do it.
Yeah, our director John Rando was very helpful in the very beginning. He kind of sat me and Don Stevenson, who plays Doc, down, and he was like, "Listen, like, we're not trying to be the movie here, and we're not trying to be the Broadway production or the West End production. We're trying to be our own new production, and so to really, you know, like, you don't need to worry about that, but also there's moments from the movie that I wouldn't want to hear it any other way, you know, like Johnny Be Good and that whole intro speech, and like at the very end, like, guess you guys aren't ready for that yet, you know, like there's a way that you just want to hear those lines, and that's such an honor because I would just quote those lines in my day-to-day life. So to say I'm on stage and get paid for it is pretty cool, but also there's a lot of moments that I, you know, get to kind of make my own, and that just comes from the relationships we've built on stage and you know, with the other members of the cast who are all just top tier, so funny, so great.
Incredible. And do you have a favorite section of the show that you're really excited for the fans to see, if you had to pick?
I mean, yeah, there's so many great ones. We just showed Johnny Be Good was playing there. That's one of my favorite moments. You know, my dad was the one who introduced me to rock and roll, and so to play that, and I kind of think like the end of the show is Johnny Be Good, and then the last two songs, Power of Love and Back in Time, and I kind of think of those as like the rock and roll trio in my head, and those are really my favorites, because especially those two at the end, we've gone on this whole journey together, me with the audience, because I never really leave the stage, and finally at the end we just get to celebrate, and it kind of turns into just a concert, and I get to really connect and look out at the audience and make eye contact and really just be like, and now we just get to have fun.
And perform.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank
I can't
you.
wait to see this.